I'm Brian Back of Sustainable Industries and TriplePundit, and we're sitting here with Dale Hart, Creative Director at Methodologie in Seattle, at South by Southwest Interactive in Austin. How you doing, Dale?
Good.
Good. How's your event been so far?
I'm less overwhelmed now. I was pretty blown away by how huge the event is when I first got here. But once I kind of drilled into what was really kind of relevant for me, I really focused on seeing events that are really meaningful. So it's been fantastic.
And what has been most relevant for you here?
Well, it kind of went back and forth between kind of the bigger sessions around kind of the big think. Dean Kamen and his great work around innovation, and actually how it ties to one of our clients, Coca-Cola, the work he's doing around water filtration systems, working with Muhtar Kent to really sort of use that infrastructure they have to get into 206 countries around the world. So I thought that was fantastic. And then also sessions that are really around some more like our day-to-day app development, design process, things like that. So it's been really great.
So inspirational and educational.
Yes,
Sounds
exactly.
like. And hopefully some fun too, right?
Oh yeah.
And tell us a little bit about what kind of work you do specifically at Methodologie and who some of your big clients are.
Yeah. Our take on the panel, which has been great, is really coming from a design and communication side. We've been in the business of brand development and communication for 24 years. We work with Coca-Cola, Boeing, Kraft, Gap, 3M, Williams-Sonoma, folks like that, to create their CSR reports. And also now moving into thinking about, as we were talking before, really kind of a broader reach for that content. So we come from the design and communication side of it. Much of the content, we work with our writers, and our clients work with us to sort of shape content. We're not certainly developing the data in any way. So we really create communications that, there's a lot of skepticism around CSR reports, but we believe that if they're written well, if they're designed well, if they're engaging, they'll actually get to the audiences they need to get to along with sort of social media tools and such.
In terms of maybe social media tools and messaging sustainability, for some of these large brands, what are the biggest trends you see right now?
Well, it's really about each one of them has sort of their own challenges, obviously, and some of them not even, some of them not being consumer side. Some folks like Chris, who's on the panel from Seventh Generation, he's really working with a company whose very sort of DNA is around sustainability. The products they develop from the start were about sustainability. Many of the folks we work with are coming at it from less of a consumer-facing sort of message, whether it be a widget or a chemical or whatever it might be. That's a little tougher to sort of find the thread that's going to communicate sustainability.
Like a Boeing, for example, or
Boeing or a chemical distributor, an engineering firm, things like that. You don't immediately go to sustainability, but they do have some key material issues that we need to work through. As far as trends go, really it's all about engagement, working with personas that speak to each one of the audience members. That's a way that we develop and find sort of the channels to communicate outside the CSR. It's how their audiences are, what's the need and how can we meet that need. So there's a connection, kind of a push and pull from the company to the consumer and back.
And are you seeing a greater willingness and interest in companies in their sustainability reporting to be very radically transparent?
Radically transparent, we're not seeing a lot of radical transparency, and that I think, again, just it's company by company. I mean, the kind of thing you see from Patagonia is not something you're going to see from companies who are, developing, whatever it might be. I just think that, again, it's really in the DNA. I mean, Patagonia's been there forever, Seventh Generation, that kind of thing. And it's really about comfort level and the sort of philosophy around how much to reveal. I mean, it hasn't necessarily been business practice to be so forthcoming. But I think that as companies are setting good examples around that, I think other companies are really seeing how you can benefit from that and not be afraid of that.
And where do you see some good examples of that? Maybe beyond Patagonia and
let's see. I think Starbucks does a nice job with that. They're looking at their sourcing, their revealing stories and communication around coffee growers around the world. I'm seeing apparel companies, sort of many companies, when they're outsourcing their work to, say, Southeast Asia, they do not own those factories. It's a consortium of companies that are contracting with those factories, right? So they don't have ultimate control, ultimate say about labor or health issues, things like that. But I've seen a wonderful trend around these companies who are working with those factories, getting together and working through issues of workers' health, actually having clinics and doctors on staff and at those factories, and then also anything around child labor, things like that. So I think in numbers there's strength, there's the ability to influence what's actually happening in the factories where your products are being made. So I think that's a really wonderful trend, seeing those clients work together, or seeing those companies work together.
Great. Well, thanks very much for your time.
You're welcome.
And enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.